All right, we've been Gene Gallen with the Chatham Journal, Chatham Chat List. I've been walking here with Greg Stafford talking about what his plans are for this downtown beautification Pittsboro project that he's involved with. We're going to get into a little bit about how this all started. And the name of this project, you've got it called what?
Well, the project is called SoCo,
Okay.
and for south of the courthouse. And that name was used as a pejorative by one of our NoCo neighbors named Tommy Edwards. He told us how awful SoCo people were and that the NoCo people were better. And it kind of stuck. So we were being put down by him up there on the north side of the courthouse. And so we decided to own what he was calling us, which is low life south of the courthouse, and we went with it.
Now, wait a minute. Are we talking about the same Tommy Edwards? Tommy Edwards, the musician that's been in Chatham County forever playing bluegrass?
Yes.
And owns a store up on the north side.
Nasty attitude. Nasty attitude.
Well, folks who know Tommy Edwards, you take it for what it's worth. All right, so that's how the name came about, and that's SoCo, is that correct? All right. So how did this whole project, how did this whole idea, this view, this thing start for you?
Well, we first came across this building when John Justice put the corner minus Second Bloom up for sale.
All right.
And we knew we wanted to do something. We didn't know what we wanted to do. And Eric Andrews and Cindy Dameron put it together as far as the real estate agents doing it. Eric was on my side of the transaction. I rely on him. I mean, every purchase I've made in this county has been through him.
Now, his building's located on the north side of the courthouse. He's in.
But so he brokered the deal, and then later brokered the deal to get the Second Bloom building. And this whole time, before we ever got the Second Bloom building, I said, what can I do here? You know, and he said, well, call Taylor Hobbs, because Taylor has done most of the stuff in Pittsboro. Well, I think the quote was, Taylor's done the stuff that looks good in Pittsboro. And
well, for people who don't know, Mr. Hobbs' company worked on the rebuilding of the courthouse after the fire.
And I believe, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think they did the new courthouse too. I'm not positive of that.
I'm not sure about that too. Now, I know they're doing right now some work over there at the Postal Fish Restaurant.
Right, and they're doing the town hall.
That's correct.
They're designing the town hall as well. But anyway, so Eric told me to call Taylor. He said if it's going to look good in Pittsboro, to call him. And so we called him, and he was more excited than we were. You know, he cares about Pittsboro and is pushing this. And so, you know, and he's the one who really put us in contact with the town council people. I mean, now I want the sewer, but other than that, I've had no complaints about, you know, how they've handled it. You know, Michael Fiocco, John Bonnets, Kyle Shipp, all three, and Jay Farrell actually has called me as well. So everyone's called me, everyone's talked to me and pushed me to do it. I've only had one person on the town council who won't return my phone calls, but other than that, we've had great support for the project. Robert Reeves, it cannot be understated how much he worked to make sure the Circle Beautification Project happened.
And for people who don't know, although they should know, who is Robert Reeves?
Robert Reeves is your local representative, and he, again, I cannot say how much he did to make this happen. I can't say how much all 5 of the town council, they don't have to call me back to have not worked on it. You know, all 5 members of the town council voted for helping this project out. They, you know, pushed the DOT project. They helped convince the county to donate the land for the easements to take down these power lines.
Right.
I mean, they've done it all. And so they've done work hard to try to keep downtown Pittsboro viable and not make the mistakes that Cary and Apex did.
And that's how you start. What do you remember? What year that was when you first bought that building?
We bought it in 2015. The end of 2015, I believe, because it closed in late November.
Gotcha.
And and we started immediately. So we first hired a company to do the location, meaning find where's the water, where's the sewer, where's the power, where are old things, and they really went back into the late 1800s to find some of the stuff that's underground here.
Wow.
And so, we're dealing with antiquated infrastructure.
All right, so we're in 2020 right now. What's the game plan and a timeline perspective to get this whole entire SoCal, did I pronounce SoCo? Sorry, see, the SoCo project finished up?
Well, we've got a couple of bids. The contractors are saying that we're looking at, if everything falls into place, 9 months. If everything turns south, 18 months. So we would really love to be ready in 2021. And if we could finish on the timeline that the DOT does and get it, finished by November of 2021, this rooftop bar, and where we stand will be patio seating as well.
Right.
You're talking about adding, literally between all of these places, 8,500 square feet of outdoor dining. I mean, that is massive.
And there's nothing comparable to that in this area right now.
There's nothing comparable in the Triangle. You
Okay.
won't go anywhere in the Triangle where you have a corner like this with a bunch of different restaurants, hopefully a brewery, hopefully a distillery, and there will be nowhere else like this.
So it's going to be a unique Triangle asset that's located right here in downtown Pittsboro.
Correct.
Question: COVID, how has that slowed it down? Has that made any changes in your plan, or?
No. I mean, honestly, I have a lot of people calling me stupid for going ahead and doing this, but I got a lot of people yelling at me because they think that I'm too cavalier about the whole thing. But sooner or later, people are going to go outside again.
Right.
And if nothing else, they're going to go outside to eat dinner on a patio that's so big that you could literally, under the restricted rules, have 225 people on them.
Right, because we're outdoors right now and we're social distancing, so neither one of us is wearing a mask right now.
Right. And we're 8-9 feet apart. And if I go inside, I'll put on a mask. When I'm outside, I don't wear a mask.
Right.
And, try to be respectful of others as best I can, and they'll be respectful of me. But I'm putting, massive outdoor seating where you can put the tables 12 feet apart and still have, 150 people out here.
So, again, you started in 2015. At what point did or did your vision start out in 2015 as looking just beyond the Justice Motor Building?
Don't make the mistake of giving me credit for too much vision.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, a lot of it is Eric and Taylor. Eric Andrews and Taylor Hobbs. Do something cool, do something big, really make it happen. And so that's what we've done. That's what we're trying to do.
So from this building right here that currently houses the Republican Party for Chatham County headquarters, to the mod, which you're thinking will probably stay there, but with modifications, around the corner to the second Bloom building and to the Justice Motor Building, that's going to be all upgraded to where you're just going to have the largest open venue for outdoor dining in the Triangle.
I don't want to make too much of a brag and then have somebody in, Wake Forest call me and say there's something else.
All right, let's rephrase that. One of the largest.
If there is, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So those are the plans that, and I think the good thing is talking with Greg, and one of the reasons we're talking to Greg was there's a whole bunch of people had a whole bunch of questions, and since I've known Greg, I figured, hey, let me reach out, and we're taking you through. Hopefully, we'll add some drawings. You had some artist renditions the Hobbs architectural firm has done for you. We'll try to include those in the video so you folks can kind of visualize. Again, some of that stuff can change. project from the DOT starting January of next year, 2011. Hopefully get finished up by November, so that going into that Christmas, holiday, New Year season, you may be enjoying, well, I assume if they're going to be outside, since we're in North Carolina, the weather's going to be pleasant enough, and if not, there'll probably be some kind of heaters.
Right. Something. We haven't decided if we're going to have radiant heat in the floor or if we're going to have those mushroom style heaters out there, but there will be something. Our goal is to have about 10 months of comfortable outdoor eating.
Gotcha. And now, are you doing this all because you want to have an opportunity for your band to play here in the middle of Pittsboro?
No, my band days are over.
Folks, Greg used to belong to a band. You had performed up in Carborough at you had a reunion several years ago. Where was it that you performed at?
Like a wet paper box behind the...
No.
We played at the Cat's Cradle.
They played at the Cat's Cradle. I was actually there recording some of that, and their band actually had groupies. They were out there just yelling, and it was a fun time. So it's nice to see. And you grew up here in Chatham County?
No, I grew up in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
So I grew up in Chapel Hill. I moved here in '94.
All right. And this is just your opportunity to keep the middle of Pittsboro vibrant, exciting, and updated.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next one.